What is up, everyone? This is Aaron Karcher coming at you from the Karcher Cares podcast for episode 1. I am joined here with my audio engineer, my right-hand man, my sound guy, my GM bro, Hunter Sullivan, a.k.a. Endoconda. You can follow him on Instagram at h_Sullivan45. We are here to deliver this podcast, the Karcher Cares podcast. It's going to be motivation, inspiration, just killing it in your life podcast. It's going to have all kinds of stuff on it, whether it be music, fitness, people owning small businesses, just being phenomenal at what they do and how they do it. Just all kinds of stuff on this podcast. Might even throw in some comedy stuff in here. It's just going to be great. We're really excited to get started. We're excited for what is to come, and we're going to throw out a lot of stuff, a lot of knowledge from guests that I would love to have on from different perspectives of life and what they do and how they live their lives. So with that, a couple of guests that I like to talk about that I'm going to have on that I've already talked to about coming on is one. My first guest will most likely be my sponsor, and he has a crappie sticks business, which is fishing rods. He works where I work right now, but he is on the verge of being able to quit that job and just run his business, which is goals to me 100%. I mean, that he's going to be able to do his dream job and own a business and be his own boss probably by the end of the year. And we'll have him on to talk about that, talk about the sponsorship, talk about what it took to start that business, what it took to, he has a kid, he has a wife, talk to them about what he had to do to get them to jump on board with him, to support him, and the stress and all the struggles, but also the perks and the upsides and just the all around just, gratitude and stuff that comes along with it. So that's going to be exciting. I'll love to have him on, and he's excited about coming on too. Another guest would be a buddy of mine that had his leg blown off in Afghanistan, and he wants to come on and just motivate people to, everybody goes through struggles in life, but it's pretty easy to overcome them and change your life around if you really want to, if you really see it. And he's the epitome of that. He lost his leg, he had to get a prosthetic, he pretty much had to learn how to walk again, and now his fitness journey is just so impressive and just mesmerizing. And now he's training to box, which is amazing. He used to train at Gold's. I met him at Stark's here in Benton, Illinois, and he moved to Marion. He was training there, and now I believe he's in Paducah, Kentucky, living there with his wife and his baby. And I think it's just awesome that he's agreed to come here to do the podcast with us from Paducah and just give out his life story and what it takes to get up and go every day whenever you don't have a leg, and just the mental struggles he goes through and all the physical struggles. So that's going to be fun. It's going to be awesome to have a conversation with him. I enjoy every conversation I have with him all the time. He's a super cool dude, real laid back. He hates sympathy, so don't feel sorry for him. He don't like that. He likes to tell you, these are your cards you're dealt with. Deal with it. Make the best of it. So he's going to be an awesome guest, and I can't wait for that. Another guy I would love to have on, he was featured in one of my Instagram videos. If you've seen it, the one where I busted up my leg. If you don't follow my Instagram, it's at Aaron Karcher. You can check that out. His name's DJ. A lot of people don't know that he went through like 4 surgeries. I think an ankle surgery, a knee surgery, a back surgery. I think he had surgery on both of his ankles, actually. But he's still one of the most fit guys in the gym. And it's just amazing to me. Just the hard work and the dedication that he brings to the table every time he's in there and throughout his whole life. And I think from what I gathered, he didn't really have very good of a life growing up. And now he's pursued a career in engineering, I believe. He's going to the school in Missouri. So he said he'd be the first to go to college and get a degree if he finishes through that in his family, which is awesome. That props to him, and I really hope he sticks to it. He's going to come on and talk about that and just the journey it took from him coming out of his surgeries. And he's like 2 years younger than me, 3 years younger than me. He's like 22. So he's already been through so much, and he's only 22. So to have that like drive and just motivation at 22 is just awesome. And it's really impressive, and it's very like motivating. And I can't wait to have him on also to motivate somebody, that maybe they want some motivation to get up off the couch and just get started at something. And having him on here talk about it, and maybe it'll make them want to jump out and do it. And that's basically the whole gist of this podcast, is to bring people out of their shell. I'm awkward and shy in front of the camera and behind the mic. I don't really like my voice a lot, but me doing this might bring somebody that's good at it, that's a little shy and fearful, but might bring them out and express it and start showing it because I'm doing it. They see me doing it, so like, well, I can do it and I can do it better. And that's awesome because I want that. I want to see somebody come out and do it better than me, because that means that we're both winning, because my content is pushing their content out, and their content is being consumed by everybody, and it's just all around good, which, this podcast is the goal is to bring the good to the community, because I know that we see on the news a lot of bad things and a lot of bad people and bad things happening, but if you just talk to your neighbor, man, it's not really that bad out. And that's why I want to bring these people, from all around Southern Illinois on here to talk about things that they're doing that are really behind the scenes that nobody really knows about, to let everybody know that there's still good out there. I'm a really big, firm believer in with every bad person that there's 100,000 good people. And these people are the epitome of what I'm talking about when I say that. So it's going to be a good thing. I don't see anything bad coming from it. I don't really see any downsides. I don't know what could be a downside from this. So, that's going to be exciting. And bringing them on will maybe, motivate somebody to do something in their community or something else in the community to help, better things. Like a guy I work with also that I'm going to ask to come on and talk about something he does outside of work, which is he grabs together a group of 13, 14-year-old kids, that don't really have the very best home life, and he brings them out into the community where he lives and in the neighborhoods, and just does cleanups, picks up stray branches, trees down, just trash, anything, and pays them out of his pocket. And people don't have to do things like that. He does not have to do that, but it's just he cares so much about keeping the community clean and giving these kids a second chance and showing them what it's like to work for a living and give them that right mindset at such a young age to where maybe they can succeed later in life. And that's just so awesome. And he's such a great dude. And he's been, to Vegas for our job because of awards he's won in our DC. And it's just awesome. He's just a good guy, hard worker. And I would love to have him on, have a good conversation with him, and let everybody see him for who he is, and let him talk about what he does outside of here. That'll be awesome. And enough with the guests now. I don't want to give too many of those out. Talk about me a little bit. I was born here in Illinois. I grew up in Dahlgren, Illinois, and McLeansboro, Illinois. I went to high school in McLeansboro. I was always into sports and music, so you'll hear a lot of stuff talked about on here about sports and music and fitness, because that's basically what I'm interested in, and that's what I'm infatuated with. So I was always into sports, and I never really fell into fitness or the gym until after high school. I had a rough patch in life for probably from 2008 to 2012 where it was a rough time, and I found fitness rather than, turning to partying and drinking. And I lost a lot of friends, but I also gained a lot of success in my own life, a lot of just knowledge. It really turned my life around for the better. And that's why I love fitness so much, and why I do what I do on my Instagram and try to post out positive things on the daily with fitness, because it's so positive. You go into the gym and it's always such a positive atmosphere, and everybody you talk to has got they're always in a good mood usually, and everything they're doing is they're working better, they're bettering themselves, And it's just easy to get addicted to that, but I understand that it's easy to get addicted to the crappy feeling like going to the bars, because you meet the same people in there, but it's all depressing, it's all sad stories, and you can relate to, and it's just easy to feel sorry for yourself and get addicted to that. So I understand it from that point too. But once you get out of that and you get to that positive vibe of the gym and working out and just meeting other people in the gym, you meet a lot of good people in the gym, and that's where I met Hunter, actually. This kid dropped like almost 100 pounds, and it just changed his life. It changed the way he is. It brought him out of his shell, and he started writing music. And we're going to make him bring that onto here for sure eventually. And we'll have him on as a guest and talk about that fitness journey and him doing podcasts and him doing, the music he's done back in the day. And it's going to be a good podcast also. And I can't thank him enough for helping me put this together, because he knows way more about all this stuff than I do, this tech stuff, and I'm just the voice and the face behind it. But he'll have his voice on here too, don't worry. So, but back to the gym, it's so positive, and everything you do in it, you take it into your life. When you start seeing results in the gym, you start to see results in your mind too. Like you're positively enforced by all your physical results, so you're mentally stronger after you're physically stronger. So you start applying that to other things in your life, whether it be at your job or your side hustle, just eating better, living a healthier life, just being more positive and more happy. And I can't talk about that enough, like, and how good that feels, and just all the gratitude and all the stuff I feel from it. And I just want everybody else to feel that too. And that's why a lot of the guests I have on will have there won't be a negative thing said. It'll all be positive. It'll all be uplifting, because that's what this world needs, is just positive and uplift right now, because there's just so much turmoil and just sadness and just depression. It's like, you guys need to see it for, what it really is and all the good in it. And that's what this podcast is going to be about, is just all the good and all this stuff that, I like to see and I like to be about, So I'm really excited about it. I know Hunter is. We've been trying to work on this for a while, and we finally, got into this episode 1, and it's all up from here. This is the hardest part. It's going to be awkward. It's going to be weird, but it's all up from here, and I'm just ready to get it going. I'm ready to get, everything set up for the guests to come on and start sharing their stories and start giving out their advice. And, I want to give out my advice. I'll throw health tips in, and once I get the website up, it's karchercares.com, and the website's going to I'll have health tips on there. Also, I'll have, fitness tips. I'll have fitness videos. I'm just going to put everything on there, all positive stuff, just everything that you want to see of me, I'm going to put on there for you to see. And I want to share everything. A wise man once told me this absolutely changed my life, and I'm going to eventually ask him to come on here and talk about this too, because he literally changed my life with one sentence. He's always been there in my life to help me out with everything I've ever done in my life. Like, just if I had to ask him to do something, he would be right there. He'd be doing it for me 100%. And I asked him one time, I said, why do you help me so much and just never take any, money from me when you do it? Why do you just do so many things for free? And he's like, I've learned out throughout my life, if you know something or you know how to do something very well, why not just share it? That would be selfish of you not to share it. And that just opened my eyes, and that's where I came out of my shell to start sharing my fitness stuff, start sharing the music stuff. It just flipped a switch in me, and I was like, man, that makes so much sense. Like, you get so much, the feelings you get, the gratitude you get, and the messages you get of all the positive stuff that, you get back from the things you release out, like, whether it be fitness or music. Somebody's like, that sounded really cool, dude, that uplifted me today. Or, I saw your post about eating better. I'm going to eat better now. And that the feeling you get from that is just so much better than even receiving any money for it. It's just I can't express it, but that's the feeling I'm going for from this podcast. That's what I want this podcast to do, is just to uplift and make you feel better about yourself, and maybe want to try to do things better, try harder. And I'm just ready to get it all out there for you guys, and it's going to be fun. So, and on that note, I'd like to wrap this episode 1 up, and thank you all for listening and watching. You can follow this podcast on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all at Karcher Cares. And with that being said, I'm going to wrap this up. And I don't want to give too much away with talking about the guests I'm going to have on and what they do, because I want them to talk about it, not me. So I'm going to leave it at that. I want to thank you all for tuning in, listening. Give me a share, give me a like, comment, even a negative comment. I don't care. Anything like that. And stay with us, because we're going to bring you back, or we're going to bring you so much content and episodes and guests. It's going to be fun. So I hope you come along for the ride, and I will see you next episode.